Will CMCT be retesting the $11 levels by the end of this week, or is this a ticker which is glory days are behind it? You should be cutting your losses and walking away from. What's up, trend friends? Today, we're discussing CMCT under three different lenses: the why, the what, the where. The why, we're going to be doing a calibrate breakdown. The what, we're going to do some stock analysis. The where, I'll tell you guys where to get in and where to get out. So without further ado, hit the thumbs up button and now let's get to work. So when it comes to CMCT, guys, this is a ticker which has had an amazing rally today, running approximately from the $5 levels all the way upwards of $11. So the first thing we want to analyze is going to be the why, because if we can figure out the why, then we can understand whether or not these gains that we've been seeing are even sustainable for the company, or whether or not this has just been an unreasonable buying pressure followed by a unreasonable selling pressure. All right, so let's get to work. And I always tell you guys, right, in order to predict the future, we first need to understand the past. We want to know what's going on here, right? Is this just a bunch of dummies chasing in and just FOMOing in, or is it actually people who understand what's going on and they see value in the stock based on the news that came out and they're going in and buying it? So let's see the news. So when it comes to the news, the company did actually have some news. So let's go over here and find it. Let's see if Mumu has it announced or not. If not, we'll use the other source. There we go. Okay, so it says creative media share spike on heels of $44 million PG FR deal. It says shares are surging on Thursday after inked the deal to sell its lending division to PGFR Holdings LLC, an affiliate of Atlanta-based Peachtree Group. Based on the lending division's assets and other information, as of September 30th, the purchase price is estimated to be approximately $44 million, and net of a debt from 20 securitization subject to adjustment. After accounting for debt repayment, transaction costs, and other factors, CMCT expects a net cash proceeds of around $31 million. The transaction closure is subject to U.S. Small Business Administration approval and other customary closing. So overall, pretty good stuff. Now, here's the thing, right? I think that this is really interesting because, this is a company that does only have a market cap of $7 million. Right? So you're getting a company with $7 million selling a subsidiary of theirs, which is worth $30 million, right? $40 million, but they're bringing in $30 million. So overall, listen, this is very good news, okay? This is on pen and paper, this is very good news. So the news, we're going to put it as amazing, right? It makes sense. Now, the next thing which we want to look at, however, is going to be the stock analysis, okay? The stock analysis, because sometimes, no matter how good the news is, if the stock is shady, the stock is not going to move. Okay, no matter how good the news is. And what am I talking about? Because at the end of the day, my friends, the stock market is simple supply and demand. All right, and I know you may think that every single stock is the same, and if every single stock has the same news, every single stock will run the same amount, but it doesn't work like that. Supply and demand, supply and demand, supply and demand. Let's say two companies have the same news. The one with a smaller supply will react to the demand coming in a lot more from a volatile perspective than the one with a lot more supply does. Okay, because there's just more shares to be bought up in order for us to see price volatility. Okay, so let's get to work and analyze the company's supply and demand. So the first thing we want to do is going to be take a look at the supply. So the company has a free float of approximately 589k shares. Let's just say 600k shares. So extremely volatile stock as well. Now volatility is a double-edged sword. Why? Because just as fast as things can go up, just as fast as things can come down with an extremely volatile ticker, right? And I always tell you guys, so how do we trade these volatile tickers? The people that have been watching me, they probably know, but I'm going to repeat it. So the way you want to trade these extremely volatile microcap stocks is you want to go ahead and you want to make sure that you're using a stop loss, because you always want to use a stop loss, but you want to be using it with a wider stop loss. You want to be using a wider stop loss. So what am I talking about? Let's say you only want to risk $1,000 per trade, okay? You want to make sure that when my stop loss hits, I only want to lose $1,000. Well, let's say on a specific trade, on your usual trades, you use $10,000 with a 10% stop loss. When it comes to microcap stocks that are extremely low float and extremely volatile, what you want to be doing is you want to be using $5,000 with a 20% stop loss. So what that does is that it allows this stock to go ahead and do its thing, and then rip to the upside like it has over here. Instead of it coming down, setting your stop loss, oh no, it's going to zero now, set my stop loss, and then rips up without you, right? So many people think that they're getting ripped off when it comes to, oh, they know, the market makers know where I'm setting your stop loss. The market makers don't know where you're setting your stop loss. Okay, and stop loss setting is part of risk management. What are you gonna do? Just not manage your risk? I bet you like that, wouldn't you, lazy fuck? That's what you like, right? Anything, I mean, people are always looking for reasons why things are not gonna work out and why things are going to fail them, right? And I'll tell you this, I've been trading for 8 years, guys, okay? The first 3 years, all I did was lose money, but I didn't give up. And I always tell this to people as well, and it's actually the thing that we end this video and every single video on is, Don't give up, don't quit, because 90% of traders are not unprofitable. 90% of traders just quit before they become profitable. That's the reality of the matter. That's the reality that we live in, right? Whether you like it or not, right? All you have to do is make sure that you're learning from your mistakes every single day and you're putting one step towards another and you're getting it to work. That's it. That's all it really takes. Okay, so I think this is one of those tickers that it's extremely volatile, and I think that a stop loss is mandatory to use. Okay, now let's get moving on to other supply aspects. So when it comes to the supply aspects, right, we also want to make sure that this isn't a company that's not adding supply to its supply count right now. So how do we make sure that the company is not adding supply to its supply count? Well, we want to make sure that the company is not in a financial situation that needs to go ahead and dilute shares. How do we make sure that the company is not in a situation? Well, we take a look at their financials. The numbers I'm sharing with you guys are based off the company's most recent SEC filings. So the company right now has $56 million in the bank. They're burning approximately $600K every quarter, leaving them with 266 months of cash. So cash-wise, they have a strong cash position when it comes to cash and cash equivalents, okay? Now, it's not amazing because they're not cash flow positive, but it is good. Now, the next thing we want to look at is going to be their history of dilution. Historically, they've been very dilutive, but right now, their overhead supply is low. Now, historically being dilutive is okay, because if they've historically been dilutive, it does mean that they could go ahead and dilute again, which means they don't have any opposition to dilution. However, if they're not in a financial situation to do so, that means that they've already done the diluting to raise the funds to be in a good situation where they don't need to dilute anymore, and they've done a good job. And if you look at the overhead supply is also low, meaning that majority of this diluting that they've done has already been priced in already, okay? So that's also very good. So the odds of dilution we're going to put as good, meaning relatively low. Now, again, you never know what's going to happen with these companies, man. They can go ahead and dilute for no reason out of nowhere. I've seen it happen with companies that have freaking thousands of months of cash and they just go ahead and dilute out of nowhere. So, don't think that dilution is impossible, but relatively lower odds of it. Okay, that's all that means. Now, the next thing we want to look at is going to be the institutional ownership, sitting at 15%. 15% institutional ownership is relatively good. We're going to go over here and put it as okay. Oh, that's the short interest. We're going to put it as okay there. Now, let's take a look at the short interest. So when it comes to the short interest, we'll go over here and we'll pull up CMCT. So the short interest the past day is up 22%, sitting at approximately 15.36% now. This isn't a good look. You don't want to see short interest increasing, because when short interest increases, this means that the shorts are betting against the company. However, it does make sense that the short interest is increasing right now just because the stock volatility is so high, okay? But 15%, this 15% as well, I would probably say it's closer to like 25 to 30%, just because this doesn't account for naked shorts, synthetic shares, dark pool volume, or anything like that. So for me, I would say it's closer to, let's say, 25 to 30% than what you're looking at over here, okay? So let's go over here and let's rank the short interest as okay as well. Now, the next thing we're going to look at is going to be the charts. So when it comes to the charts, right, the levels that I would be a buyer, where do I see the sticker heading? I do see it potentially recovering back and retesting this, the bottom set of these candles over here at approximately $8-ish. I do see it retesting $8 potentially. That is possible. But the levels that I would want to be a buyer at, I'm going to be honest with you guys, honestly, at around $7, it's not a bad buy. It is really not a bad buy around here. $7 to $8 playing this range, it wouldn't be a bad buy. But the levels that I would be most interested in buying would be probably closer down to this, like, let's say, like, $6-ish, play $6 to a bounce of 670, 680-ish, okay, which would be pretty good, okay? Those are levels that I will play. Again, very modest gains, and I'll tell you guys this from my trading experience, right? The number one thing that has turned me profitable has been understanding that it's a lot easier to get 10 different stocks to give me 10% each than one stock to double and give me 100%. And once I understood this simple thing, everything changed for me, honestly, okay? So overall, guys, that's my take when it comes to CMCT. Now, listen, I got good news for you guys. Right now, our private community, which allows you to trade alongside me every single day, is on a 50% sale for the next 10 members that join for our Black Friday event. Give it a shot, guys. The link is in the comment section and description. This is what it looks like, okay? We have day trade alerts, swing alerts, option alerts, lessons, one-on-one access, investing alerts for dividend investors. We have crypto alerts, both large cap and small cap. You name it, we got it. And we give you everything when it comes to our alerts. We're the best community when it comes to alerting, because we give it a ticker, we give it an entry, we give it an exit, we give it a stop loss, we give it a share price, we give you every single thing there is to give you, okay? Every single thing is given to you right on a platter. If you look over here, so how do we tell you the share size? Well, we share the share size in a 10K account. So let's say you have a 50K account, you buy 5 times this amount. Let's say you have a 5K account, you buy half this amount. Let's say you have a 30K account, you buy 3 times this amount. Simple and easy. And We already have over 400 members plus coming back month after month. There's a reason why they're coming back, right? Because they're making money, they love the community, and that's it, right? Nobody keeps paying a monthly subscription unless they truly like the profit or the product that they're paying for, all right? And yeah, back in the day, we used to do a 7-day free trial. Wilson says, "Hi Sam, thank you for our work on our community. My 7 days trial finished. It was great. I think we can afford a membership this week." Laughing emoji. 7K in 7 days. We no longer do a 7-day free trial. Now we do a 2 weeks free trial and a 30 days money back guarantee. You heard that right. 2 weeks free trial, 30 days money back guarantee. Literally today, Chinso says China Soul. I'll have to ask how to pronounce this because I'm gonna be pronouncing it for a while. But says, "Thank you, Sam, and the rest of the mentors. I've been here for almost 1 week, and not every day is green, but 100% more winners than losers." What do you mean not every day is green? Every day is green. I'm joking. Obviously, not every day is green. I've learned more here this week than the 7 months I've traded on my own. I'll be sticking around after my free trial. So 17% the past week. Wonderful, wonderful. My man Stan, I'm not going to read all this. I'm just going to read this. Says, "Thank you, Sam, for creating this opportunity for newbies like me who didn't know a damn thing about stock market to have access to professionals like JRC. These are the other mentors. And yeah, we've been crushing it. We've been crushing it, man, day in, day out. So give it a shot, okay? I'm gonna scroll up. I'm gonna read a couple more of these. Let's see. Started at 4K this month plus $200 for today, and they just started. Sam and his team is making me money. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Abu Pick, for helping me recover my previous big loss, 66,000. Wonderful, wonderful, man. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. This is the last one I'm gonna read. Granny Star says, "A couple years ago, I was down in the trenches, absolutely beyond fucked, made every single mistake you can name and wouldn't learn from it. Lost way more than I could afford and was so close to giving up. Decided to give it one last chance to find mentors. Now I'm almost back to the green with the help of Sam and everyone else. Words can't describe it, but Sam, you helped me way more than you could know. Thank you so much on everyone on all the other shot callers. The robber account is my own doing. Really don't know what the fuck I was doing. The movement account I started when joining the server, truly a lifesaver." So this is himself. This is him with us. Wonderful. Give it a shot. 2 weeks free trial. 30 days money back guarantee. Next time members, 50% discount. Doesn't get any better than this. Thank you for watching. Happy trading. And remember, eat, sleep, trade, repeat, and don't give up, don't quit. Why? Because 90% of traders are not unprofitable. 90% of traders just quit before they become profitable. I did it. You can do it too. I believe in you. Believe in yourself. Thank you for watching. Your boy Sam from Prop Academy.